Episode 5 The North. She moved her palm up and the ball of light floated slowly up, and as it did brighten. The cavern lit up almost as if it was the outside. It just hung there just like a mini sun. All he could do was stare with his mouth open. You see, there is magic even here, not just in fairy tales. One only needs to understand how to use the tools. She reached out and placed a hand on his knee. Look, not everyone can use magic, and some who can don't. Many who can have no clue they can. Bright eyes never moved. His eyes stayed on Blue without blinking, and Cat could tell he was ready to put himself between her and him if he said anything. The painting of the dragon was glowing again, he noticed. The secrets of magic have been hidden from the South for eons. The people of the North believe that the South is nothing but a frozen wasteland. There are only a few that know that it is not, and I happen on this knowledge. I'm sure if the mages thought I known, I would have been killed to keep the secret. She looked a bit worried and her voice became wispier. I had to flee if I want to live. Her eyes seemed to water up as if she was about to cry, but she did not. Wow, he thought this was a lot to take in. Could she be telling the truth? After all, with the way she had shown up and how she made the little son, there was more to this than he understood. I hope that they will never find me here, but I'm sure they will find the portal as I have and may come looking. Portal? He asked. It's a way to move from place to place by the use of magic. There are many different kinds. The one I found was used to move slaves from here back to Agartha. It has not been used much in years. Slaves, he thought, they took people as slaves from here. She saw the look on his face. Yes, they would take your people as slaves, not so much now but a lot in the past. This could explain why people would disappear when they would come to the mountains. She explained that only human flesh could go through this type, so that the would-be slaves could not bring any kind of weapons with them. That was why she had been naked, but she did not know that it would drain her of energy as it had. They may already know she was gone, but she was sure it would take them some time before they know where she had gone, and how it would take longer. They will look for me, but I'm not sure they will come here to get me. It is why I came. I want nothing to do with being a lady in sitting to a mage. She talked as if he should understand what all that was about. I have no idea of most of what you are talking about, but you are welcome to come with me back to my farm as soon as the water recedes. He told her about how they had come to be in the cave in the first place. It is about a 4-day walk south from here. He had checked on the water and thought it would only be a couple more hours and then they could move. He was still not sure if it was day or night, but that did not matter to him. He wanted out of the cave. She told him more about where she came from and how things worked there. He learned what a lady in sitting was. She's in line to be the wife of the Archmage of the House Rain. She explained that magic was rooted in the female blood. Men can have magic, but it is limited. When they are bonded with a woman of magic, their power becomes tenfold. The women's power is drained and they only live a few seasons after bonding. Most never reach 20 seasons. It was considered an honor by most, but Blue did not want to be bonded. She did not care for the honor, but most were picked when young and had no say in it. The mage would buy the child and raise them. It was a good life, but guarded. A lady in sitting had the run of the house and the walled gardens. She had looked for some way to get away, but had found none till she found an old book hidden in an old footlocker in the crawl space under a stairway. It told of how the archmages would get slaves in the past. It was by using the portal that was hidden in the old dungeon. The book told of how it worked. There had been no new slaves as long as she had been there, so she was not sure that anyone knew that it was there. It took some time for her to find the hidden portal room and longer to get it to open for her. It had been sealed with magic. She wondered if all the houses had their own portal rooms into the Southlands. Most had slaves, some more so than others. The Archmage of Rain did not trust too many slaves. He would rather pay some of the locos to work the fields for the house. The House of Rain was one of the richest in Agartha. He thought about it, and there really had not been many who has disappeared in the last few seasons. Yes, one or two, but not as many as the tales of the past say. He asked her many questions, and with each answer, there were more. How many houses are there, and is there one that rule over all? He asked. 5 houses, but none rule all, and most things are voted over by each house's archmage. Few would go against the vote. If they did, it would mean war. She sighed. This does happen from time to time. No one in all the south knows of the north. She smiled. What you call the Thunder Mountains run all the way around the world, not just here. And the only way to get to the north is with magic portals. Oh, no, there are caves that run all the way to the north, but would take 30 to 40 days to walk. Well, I don't blame you for not wanting to be where you were, but why don't you think the Archmage would come looking for you here? He may, but it will take him some time before he will know where and how I went. I don't think he knows of the portal room. He has only been the Archmage for 3 seasons. The last one had been eaten by a dragon before he was able to have a son. I made it look as if I went over one of the garden walls, and I left the book inside of the portal room, and I made sure it was sealed up as before I found it. I left just as soon as it was dark, so they would not even think to look for me till the next midday, when I was to report to help in the kitchen. So then you are still fine. You have been here no more than 3 hours, and it must still be night out. We should rest a couple of hours, and then we should be able to move out of the cave to see the sun rise. Nothing will get near us with bright eyes here.